I'm going to start just with a couple things. One is welcoming President Murty to Oregon State. Excited to get a chance to to know her, work with her. Really fired up about that. And also want to thank President Johnson for really doing a phenomenal job for a year and a half transition. Huge supporter of athletics and did some great things for our university. And so I want to thank her for her service and really her support of Oregon State athletics. After watching the game, just like some bad, I thought offensively, had some explosive plays early, which we needed to create, which was great. Got the crowd into it with the lead and things, but obviously in the second half, we got a lot to clean up. Just self-inflicted on the penalty end. We got to be better with our technique, decision-making a couple times. Chance got to find a way to do some better things with the ball. We got to carry the ball better from the backfield in regards to the thing going on the ground. Defensively, there's a lot to like. Thought the effort, the physicality was there, but there's some things containing a quarterback. Got to be able to adjust in game. Obviously planned on one quarterback, got to another one, and weren't quick enough to make some adjustments there. So a bunch to learn. On the special teams end, I was really pleased. You look at a lot of home, openers across college football, how many special teams issues there are. Thought we were pretty sound and solid on that end. A few guys that don't make the stat book that really stood out. Silas Bolden made some huge blocks down the field. Coletto, 3rd and 1, takes it for a touchdown. Well, that's all created by Silas Bolden doing a block on the safety. Pleased with Dylan Black and Luke Loescher on the punt thing, talking about special teams, first game issues. They were really sharp. Run game was really controlled a lot at the line of scrimmage by our D-line. Coach Lange Suino does a great job with those guys, and it was really good to see because I do think that's a good football team in Boise State. Appreciate the crowd, too. Crowd, sold out. I thought the energy was awesome. Didn't totally know exactly game one, how was it going to feel. It felt great. The atmosphere was awesome, and Beaver Nation showing out like that. But we all know we're not playing at home this week, and we're going to a place that's tough to play. I got a bunch of respect also for this program, especially that head coach over there, Jeff Tedford. Got the opportunity to work with him for a year. Really good man, sharp football mind. They got some good players. Starts again with the quarterback, got some talent around them, and we know it's going to be a tremendous challenge down there in Fresno. Questions?
Not trying to tee up excuses for you, but a couple I want to ask you about. With the defense, once they changed quarterbacks, how much of that was you just didn't really prepare for that guy, and he's so much different than Hank Bachmeier. How much of that was just had you game plan for maybe things are a little different out there?
Yeah, there's no question the game plan was different. Not preparing for a quarterback to extend the play like that, quarterback to pull the ball as much in the run game. But I go back, you got to be able to make adjustments, and it did. We needed to change our rush angles. We needed to know accountability for the quarterback, and different guy got in the game, and we got to be able to adjust.
And then offensively in the second half, I just kind of felt like maybe you guys weren't sure whether to stomp on the gas or be conservative, and it's sort of did you feel like you guys were kind of in the middle there where you just really hadn't been in that situation where you're up 24-0?
Yeah, the third quarter we weren't changing a bunch of mentality. We're still going to try to run the ball, and the penalty thing killed us. Got it behind the chains a bunch of times. Turnover piece, we turned it over in the first minute and 20 seconds. Chance trying to throw the ball away, doesn't get out of bounds. And so it was not good. I don't put any of that on what style of play we wanted. Third quarter was all us butchering things.
What was your take on the entire running game for the 4 quarters? It wasn't Purdue, but it wasn't like what we'd seen from last year.
Yeah, I think Boise's good on defense. Against the run, they'd been good. They're physical. 7, the inside backer, I thought played really well, made some issues for us in the backfield. So we want to give them some credit. I think we weren't clean enough to overcome some of the penalty end. We mis-ID'd a couple of times. We put the ball on the ground. And so, look, was it awful game 1? I wouldn't call it that, but we definitely want to have more to us.
You've been to Fresno as a player and a coach. What's been your experience in both situations?
It hadn't been very good. I mean, we've gone down there and got beat. Remember it vividly as a player. Was a graduate assistant here. Second year, got down there and got beat. couple of times with the Vandals, got beat. I was at Boise, go there, got beat. It's a tough place to play. It's a good football team, awesome atmosphere. That crowd will be into it. I bet the place is going to be packed. The heat, a lot of times you're playing, I mean, that's something we're going to have to handle. I think it's hot, well over 100 degrees today and this week, so create some problems.
Is there anything unique about the atmosphere there that maybe you don't run into too much at other places?
You know, fans are energized. They're a good team. They play well at home, so I don't think that's dramatically different than some of the best places home field advantage-wise.
Following Nick's question about the running game, just from a different angle, how do you think the line graded out?
I thought they pass protected really well. They could clean up some things in the run game. Some of that's too tight ends along with it. The back on his track, we missed a couple cuts there. And again, some of that's week one, right? Your first time out there doing it. But across the board, there's things to clean up.
Was lighting okay on the other side?
Didn't notice a issue with it. No.
Jake Hayner's obviously a challenge. What sticks out about him when you see him play and the challenge he presents for you guys?
Well, it starts with his arm talent. He can throw it and make all the throws accurate. You know the kid well, tough, good decision maker, won't back down to anything. You know, he's played a lot. This guy's and he's got guys to throw it to. I know the coaches over there schematically, they're going to be on it. So he's in a good situation, really accurate, that he can be really dangerous.
And I know last year was last year, but the discrepancy of playing at home and how well you guys did at Reeser as opposed to on the road, what do you think was the biggest thing in that, and how has that been addressed heading into this one?
Yeah, you try to learn from each season, obviously the good and the bad. Again, I go back to we've got an experienced group that hopefully have learned from last year in regards to, I don't think our approach during practice was off last year. I just think it came down to this. Isn't going to be easy. It's not easy to win on the road. You got to win the game in the second half, fourth quarter, and we got to do that better.
Obviously, big expectations for Luke Musgrave coming into this season, and in that first half, he really, had a good connection with Chance. Good to see that turn from an expectation to a reality.
Yeah, no question. It was good to see. He's a good player, can be explosive. Got him the ball early, which was intentional. First play of the game. Got him a touch, and then he really got his kick started on the first touchdown pass, which was a contested play. Now, this wasn't just like wide open in stride. This guy made a nice catch with it. Had a couple of other ones that were big, and so he needs to be a part. If we can continue to make him a factor, I think it helps out everybody else.
The ball skills from your defensive backs and the guys that were getting the interceptions, obviously some of that comes from just training off season. Well, is there anything else that's really improved that area? Because there was a couple of them. The right interception, that was a really nice pick. And Grant's was a pretty nice one.
Oh, I think about one being in the correct position in regards to like Grant. He's in the deep half, but he's watching the quarterback and being in the correct spot. Alex Austin's was the most impressive. His receiver, cuts loose, and so he's supposed to get back there. He does it exactly right, sprints back there, and then has his eyes in the right space. So those guys, again, have played a lot, and they did a lot of good things on Saturday.
Statistically, not a lot of sacks in this game, but did you feel like the pressure on the quarterback was pretty good?
I did, especially when early on when Bachmeier was in there, and our plan was to keep him, and just push the pocket there. I think the Jaden Grant interceptions were forced because of the pressure. We got the fumble on the other one, so was pleased with that. Now, flip the script, different quarterback comes into the game. We got to adjust our rush lanes.
I should know the answer to this, but when did you work with Jeff?
2016 at UW.
Oh.
He was a kind of analyst, quality control. It was a great year with the guy. Learned a bunch.
What do you know about him? And are you guys friendly or close?
Yeah. I try to pick his brain anytime I'm around him. Saw him down in May at meetings. Talked to him for a while. The guy's been sharp. I can remember. I think it was my first year at Idaho, my first year full-time coaching as a quarterback coach, actually going down to Cal. He's the head coach, and he had been at Oregon, and, I'd been here playing and all that. The guy spent like 2.5 hours with me just talking quarterback play when I was first-year coach trying to help. Good man for this business.
There wasn't anybody that seemed apparent in terms of injuries Saturday, but how did you come out?
Yeah, pretty clean. Definitely some bumps, bruises. Guys, play a football game and got that, but nothing currently that's going to impact this Saturday.
Jonathan, what are some of the aspects of Jeff Tedford's teams offensively through the years? Just the concepts and the things you've seen from him over his long coaching run.
Yeah, the guy can identify ways to attack a defense, and so that goes back to the discipline or the coverage and techniques. He's just been around the game a long time. Obviously knows how to coach the quarterback, has great quarterback play every stop he's made. And he's got a good staff over there. I mean, Kirby Moore, now I've worked with Kirby as well, the offensive coordinator. That guy is sharp, knows the game, and so we got to be prepared for a big-time game plan.
Your running game in the second half, even though I don't know how you felt that all went, some drives stalled out, but it felt like early in that third quarter you were getting some push and some holes and different backs doing good things. Were you somewhat pleased with about that in the second half?
Yeah, we had some good plays. I mean, we just weren't able to sustain it for a long period of time. I think there was a couple series, even the first series, we had 2 carries, I think 2 first downs, and then we throw an interception. Later in the third quarter, 2 carries good. Trey gets down, and then again, we got penalties for dropping the ball. We get the double pass down to the 2-yard line. We go back another 20 yards. I mean, just that kind of thing we gotta clean up.
The double pass, Dunmore, was he a quarterback in high school? I don't know anything about him, but that was a pretty good throw.
That was a good throw. And because he's throwing it from outside the hash, 40 yards to the opposite, outside shoulder to Trey Lowe. I mean, that was a dime, big-time throw. I'm not aware of any quarterback history the guy's got. Really, the one is Coach Fence knew that the guy can make the throw, and he did.
Shoot, I forgot what I was going to ask. I do know, I did want to ask. There was another big game this weekend.
With the one last night, you're talking Florida State, LSU. How about that?
CV.
Oh, yeah. JVCV went down last Thursday, so we're going to get back next week. It was fun to see, though. I got to catch a little bit of it.
Oh, I know what I was going to. So, first half, there's obviously that was a pretty good play by your team. Mm-hmm. And you're kind of tied up with, the play calling and whatnot. But was there ever a moment where you just took a moment and went, we're pretty good? Or did you kind of surprised at what you were seeing a little bit or anything like that?
Especially on defense, it felt good, the run game. These guys could run the ball, and our establishment of the line of scrimmage. Going in halftime, it's 24-0. You're looking at the stats. But again, always as the coach, it's like this game's a long football game. Told the team on yesterday. I mean, we got the ball 3rd and 10. We got a 10-point lead. There's about 12 minutes left in this game, and we get a pass interference, and that gives us the opportunity for Coletto to crease. I mean, this thing is in the balance till the fourth quarter. Okay.